Story time there? I used to date an older guy when I was in high school. Nothing crazy. I was a senior and he was in his second year of college. Dating a guy in college definitely made me feel important, but I had no idea how much danger I was in. I knew my friends wouldn't approve, so I never told them about him, and I absolutely never told my family. So whenever he and I would hang out, I'd tell my parents I was with my friends, and my friends I was with my parents. I never went to his place or met his friends. We would always hang out in his car or go to a park, up until one day he took me somewhere that still terrifies me. At first everything was fine, and it all seemed normal. I lied to everyone, drove to the mall where I met him, left my car in the parking lot, and got into his car. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something about his energy was off. He seemed weirdly excited and nervous, but when he told me he had a surprise for me, I told myself the way he was acting made sense. Little did I know the pit in my stomach was a warning I should have listened to. The more we drove, the more nervous I got, and when we pulled into the parking lot of my surprise, I wanted to disappear. I stared in horror as I realized we were at a hotel. I was super uncomfortable, and I didn't want to go in because I thought I knew what his intentions were, but what I had in mind was a fairy tale compared to what he actually wanted. When I told him I didn't want to go inside, he got really angry and started screaming at me. I thought his screaming was bad enough, but suddenly he started laughing, and that made my whole body go numb. He tried to calmly convince me to go inside with him, but I knew I needed to get out of there. I told him to take me home, called my best friend, and put her on speaker. When he heard her voice, it was like a switch was flipped, and he turned back into the guy I was used to. I almost decided the whole thing was no big deal and went on with the date, but my best friend demanded he bring me to her house. I still struggle with accepting that she saved my life that day, because that's exactly what he did. He dropped me off at her house, and I never saw him again. A couple years later, my best friend sent me a link, and when I clicked on it, the gravity of what could have happened almost crushed me. There in black and white was my ex-boyfriend's mugshot. He had 5 victims, and they were all found in the basement of the hotel where he worked. The last night we were together, he took me there.